Invest in success with Pub Quiz Prep. The education you want, the education you deserve.
Welcome back to Pub Quiz Prep, the trivia training school that helps you reach the magnitude of your true potential. In fact, it even helps you to discover the magnitude of your true potential. But let me not get too sidetracked. Now, I wouldn't normally do this for a genius level round of trivia, but you know what? The questions are difficult. It's hard to add up points. You might get one. Anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to insert a bonus point question in this round. So if you happen to get that question right, rather than just collecting 1 point, you collect 2. Now, the bonus point question for today will be the number of meticulously coloured in and then pressed out and put together cardboard birds that are suspended from this arrangement of cotton behind me. Okay, well, there we go. I guess the bonus point question for this genius level round of trivia will be question 1. So the pressure's on. Here we go, right off the bat. Now, if you want to call this volume 1 round 6 genius level, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. Question number 1. Daddy, I'm Fine is a song by which Irish musician? Now, don't stress too much. If you don't know the song, just break the question down. Maybe you could consider this question more, can you name an Irish musician? Okay, so that question again. Daddy, I'm Fine is a song by which Irish musician? Now, I hesitate to say this, but I do quite like this song. Now, a little word of warning, it does come with a little bit of a language warning, if you will. It's probably not the kind of song you want to turn up on full on a Friday night and really just rock out to before going out, if you've got kids around. But if you don't have kids around, then just turn up that volume. Try and move beyond some of the sort of slightly suspect kind of moral outlooks that may or may not come up in the song. Maybe, if you prefer, listen to the melody rather than some of the lyrical content. But either way, do yourself a favour and have a listen. Okay, question number 2. Are dugong and manatee different names for the same marine animal? A dugong and manatee, different names for the same marine animal. Question number 3. In May of 2009, who was the last survivor of the Titanic to die? In May of 2009, who was the last survivor of the Titanic to die? Now, if you are struggling with this question, again, I'm going to give you a clue. There we go. She was also... and there's a clue right there, she was the youngest person to be rescued from the Titanic as it was sinking. So have a bit of a think about that, even just if it's a subconscious thing as we go through the next lot of questions. Just let it sort of tick away. Don't give up on this question. Maybe I'm being overly optimistic, but here we go. Question number 4. In what city was Harry Houdini born? In what city was Harry Houdini born? Now, if you were thinking of getting married in a library, for example, in a country that's overseas, if you don't live in this particular country, as part of the question, this is somewhere you might consider to get married. There you go, I've said it. So, in what city was Harry Houdini born? Question number 5. According to the Gregorian calendar, what is the 33rd day of the year? Now, please don't overthink this. According to the Gregorian calendar, what is the 33rd day of the year? Question number 6. What was the first planet to be discovered with a telescope? What was the first planet to be discovered with a telescope? Again, if you're not too sure, take a punt at what you think the answer might be. Just have a bit of a think about it. What might I select for that one? Okay. Question number 7. In 2004, what tennis player took over the #1 ranking and held it for 237 consecutive weeks? In 2004, what tennis player took over the #1 world ranking and held it for a consecutive 237 weeks? Wow. Question number 8. Made famous by the movie Groundhog Day starring Bill Murray and others. What US state is Punxsutawney in? Forgive me if I don't quite have the pronunciation nailed just there. So, made famous by the movie Groundhog Day, what US state is Punxsutawney in? Question number 9. On what side of the road are you required to drive on in Russia? On what side of the road are you required to drive on in Russia? Question number 10. What dynasty preceded the Han Dynasty in China? What dynasty preceded the Han Dynasty in China? Okay, there we go. Just take a moment or two or three to finalize your answers to that genius level round of trivia. Now again, don't stress out. As I say, this is a genius level. You're really not meant to get them all right, and you're not really meant to get even half right. In fact, if you get one of them right, you're doing really well. This is really designed to push you, to show you what can be in the future. Now, if you've just gone right ahead, and if you score 10 or possibly with that bonus point 11, then that is fabulous. And you probably don't really need to play Pub Quiz Prep ever again. So here come the answers. Bonus point, question 1, Daddy I'm Fine is a song by which Irish musician? Of course, that is Sinead O'Connor.
Double.
Question number 2, Dugong and Manatee are in fact different. No, they are not the same name for... That's not quite right. No, they are not different names for the same marine animal. They are different names for different marine animals. Question number 3. In May 2009, who was the last survivor of the Titanic to die? Now, I tell you what. Eliza Gladys Milvina Dean is the answer. But if you had have just given me Milvina Dean, which is what, let's face it, she was more commonly known as, that's fine. Take the point. It's yours. In what city was Harry Houdini born? Budapest. And a big shout out to Dean, if you're watching. According to the Gregorian calendar, what is the 33rd day of the year? Well, that is February the 2nd. Question 6. So what was the first planet to be discovered using a telescope? Uranus. Now, initially, the person who first saw Uranus with the telescope thought it was a comet, and he maintained it was a comet for quite some time. Other people went on to prove that no, that thing you've seen there, it is not a comet, it's a planet. That is the planet Uranus. He's accredited with discovering the planet, even though he thought it was a comet. Now, a little bit more detail in case you're interested, and if you're not, this will give you an opportunity to go and grab a tea, or just have that little bit of mental downtime where that sort of screensaver goes over in front of your face there. Okay, now this guy was given a stipend by King George III, and all he had to do was move closer to the palace, reason being the royal family wanted to be able to look through the telescope, possibly at Uranus. Okay, so question 7. In 2004, what tennis player took over the world #1 ranking and held it for a staggering 237 consecutive weeks? Of course, Roger Federer. Now, question number 8. Made famous by the movie Groundhog Day, what US state is Punxsutawney in? It is in Pennsylvania. Question 9. On what side of the road are you required to drive on in Russia? That is the right side of the road. Now, what dynasty preceded the Han Dynasty in China? Believe it or not, that was the Qin dynasty, spelled Q-I-N. Well, that brings us to the end of another genius level, just checking I had the right glasses on there, another round of genius level trivia from Pub Quiz Prep. Have a fabulous week, and I can't wait to bring you the next episode. Cheerio.
Take control of your trivia training and subscribe to Pub Quiz Prep today.
Thank you for playing Pub Quiz Prep. Question everything.
I regularly go home with the meat trays now.